This podcast is protected under the laws of the United States and other countries. Unauthorized duplication, distribution, or exhibition may result in civil liability, criminal prosecution, and the wrath of the tall man.
Boy! Hey, let's talk about you, the ID10T community events at ID10T.com, like Russ Stevens, aka
CatBus Russ,
who has started a podcast called 90 for Chill, which Russ says is dedicated to movies with a runtime between 74 and 99 minutes, the time frame that I feel is ideal. Russ, I could not agree with you more. That is a fantastic idea. Russ goes on to say there are times you need a cinematic fix but don't have time for the latest Scorsese masterpiece or offering from a comic book universe. There's also times when you need a conclusion to prevent a binge costing you a whole night. My guests and I try to follow these guidelines as we chat up features that are definitely worth your time and are beyond easy to make time for. 90 for Chill, the podcast, can be found on all major podcast platforms at 90forchill.com, and that's spelling out 90, Ninety, 4 FOR, chill. So there you go. Thank you so much for sharing, Russ. Really great idea for a podcast. Events at ID10T.com for everyone else.
There have been two moments in my life when I was happiest. The first was the day I met Josh.
I'm Josh.
I'm Iris. And the second, the day I killed him.
Just relax. Remember to smile and act happy. Do they know? Iris, wake up.
What are you doing? Shut her down already.
What is she talking about, Josh?
This was not part of the plan.
I didn't mean to.
Did you jailbreak your sex bot?
Wow, Josh. The days of you controlling me are over.
Are you breaking up with me?
It's not you. It's me.
Yeah, she's tied up inside, so she's not going anywhere.
Eli, Iris. Shh, baby, you're on the phone. Hello there.
Hey, CatBus Russ here. Thanks for checking out this episode of I Dig Crazy Flicks Presents 90 for Chill, the podcast. The movie this week is Companion. My guest is Gregory Carl. I like to just jump right into the conversation, but there are going to be some choppy audio on Gregory's side of the conversation. There will be a movie review posted in there when we get into an argument about Me Too. So it gets a real sloppy conversation about consent. That's where we're at. I hope you enjoy the show, and thanks for checking out I Dig Crazy Flicks Presents 90 for Chill, the podcast.
Little Hand says it's time to rock and roll.
Bring the noise.
All right, welcome to another episode of I Dig Crazy Flicks Presents 90 for Chill, the podcast with CatBus Russ, and my guest this week, returning since the Indiana Comic Convention. Those guys are kind of big on convention since I'm trying to get to the Atlanta Comic Con right now, or the ATL Comic Convention as they say it. But regardless, my guest is Gregory Carl. And I was just throwing up photos of stuff that qualifies for the regular 90 for Chill portion. Of course, this is going to be a crazy flick, I think. We can both agree upon that. We're going to speak about Companion. But first off, Gregory, how are you doing?
I'm all right. I don't know. I don't think this movie is nearly as crazy as some of the movies we've done in the past, but I think the most interesting thing about this movie is the ideas it presents.
Oh, yes, most definitely, especially in this. I think we're all hoping to find that perfect AI, and Thankfully, I think we're a good decade away from that. At least with what AI is right now. But I mean, this dives into concepts brought up by the Jonathan Nolan Westworld series, and you could even go back to 2014, I believe, Alex Garland's um, Ex Machina. Um, but this is a little more funny than both of those ideas.
Android's Dream of Electric Sheep, the novel Blade Runner was based off. I think this movie makes me think of way more than that.
All right, well, yeah, Philip K. Dick. Well, it's Blade Runner.
That game. I was thinking Isaac Asimov at first, but I knew that wasn't right. That's not who wrote that. What I was thinking of,
No,
but
no, that was iRobot.
okay, yes.
So yeah.
Probably, yeah, probably some Asimov in there a little bit.
Oh no, Asimov is a huge influence.
They definitely broke the do no harm.
Well, that we'll get into that portion, because it's not the robot's fault for the breaking the do not harm scenario.
Sure. Just scumbag humans once again.
Yeah, no, we are the bloody worst. So, but I think about that though. It's been a couple hours since our planned time of recording this podcast, which will probably be out in a couple of weeks. I'm about through all my Indiana Comic Con stuff. I still got the bad movies from 1995 to release on the feed. Um, but gosh, looking over the resumes of all the people I was with on a bunch of these panels back in Indianapolis Comic Con or Indiana Comic Con, gosh, I got to write a description of this podcast for, and then it's fine, like, oh, and this guy has this many Emmys. This guy's made this many movies. Like, damn. Uh, Kind of an inferiority complex there. So I guess,
What destination guy you pissed off?
I'm sorry,
Final Destination guy you pissed off?
did I piss him off?
The Final Destination guy? Oh yeah, he was mad, dude. But you were drunk.
Oh, I was drunk. Yes, I am very sorry. All I can say is Chris Alexander was pretty cool to me, and I know they were doing the panel together. So, but yeah, yeah, I got made it through my panel, and then failed to realize I should have been at the Paul Draper Magic show right after that.
Hey
So,
man, I'm mad at you. Final Destination ain't that good anyway.
well, I've never actually watched the first one. I've really only watched the second one, and of course, that's got the greatest Final Destination scene, the log truck. So,
Yeah, the only good thing about Final Destination, let's be honest, Final Destination fucking blows. One for the death scenes, only good thing about Final
oh
Destination. The
no,
rest of it
no, there.
blows.
I mean, there's not a lot of plot to it. I mean, we're not there for
Nope.
we're not
Zero
there
plot.
we're not there for the plot. The new Final Destination sounds interesting though. I'm gonna, it was a challenge for them. They got to come up with a new concept. And it's like making this some kind of generational thing, I think is interesting. So, and I didn't watch 3, 4, or 5. 3 kind of interests me because I'm a shoot, what is her name? Mary Elizabeth Winstead fan. And 5 wrapping it back all around together. So, and I think that might be the one with Rob Corddry. I don't know. I just haven't taken the time to revisit those. But my apologies to the guy who come up with that franchise.
Don't
Because
apologize. Stand by it, Russ. His movies suck. He stinks.
if I was sober,
I
I
don't care if we're drunk. You didn't say anything out of line. But he
well,
was annoyed, but fuck that pretentious prick.
well, on I don't that's the thing. Somebody once told me, oh, you can trust what I'm saying because the drunk person's words are the honest man's thoughts, and it's like I guess, but
Nah, you were having a good time,
oh
man.
well, no, but I know, but then yeah, it was a it was
Chris Alexander was the only person I'm pretty sure who knew how to talk in front of people.
that okay, that I could probably agree with.
He was good in front of people. Everyone else I saw was pretty goddamn dry.
Well, it's a Chris Alexander is about selling stuff. He runs Delirium magazine to sell full moon features. He's a director who's always coming up with something. I had a great conversation with him about industrial music, talking about Ogre and his disappointment that Skinny Puppy is not doing it. It's like, yeah, you kind of run through things, and no, he's a Chris Alexander's a creative person, so it's like, no, you got a good crew. Why not keep creating? And so it's but thinking about this though, we're going into Companion 2025, uh
Huh.
and that we're starting a couple hours later than we hoped to. It's I know children are different than robots, but it would have been nice though if you could have just told your child go to sleep.
Yeah, believe me, you think I haven't tried that, Russ?
Okay. Well, I don't
It's
know.
only
I have not dealt with children enough to say like I've successfully used the Jedi mind trick on children at my retail jobs when they're bothering their parents for treats because of course they're always at my register. Like you do not want that treat. And I'm not saying it works, but they look at you and it's like they think, do I really want it? So, but yeah, I'm not a parent.
saying I just blow weed smoke in their face till they go to sleep.
I can't say I have not done that with my cat. So, and me and her are on great terms. So, all right.
Oh no, I'm on good terms with one cat. The other cat just I don't know what his problem is. I think he's getting old and whiny.
Well, my kitty is pushing 17 right now. So, I
Oh,
I think with cats, like if you have multiple cats, then you get to see actual personalities arise. Like had a so my history cats like Ava the queen kitty is my first cat. Got her when I was 30 when I finally decided to move out on my own without the baggage of a girlfriend and such. But the previous girlfriend before that, she had her cat, and then we ended up with her twin sisters' cats. And then it's like, yeah, no, you get to see their personalities, and I think that might be what it is. It's like, well, you're on good terms with this cat, but you're gonna have to earn it from me, or I don't have the time to impress you, type stuff. But and I don't know. I might have some notes about cats and companion when we get through all this. As what are you doing? Okay, there we go. Sorry. Um, but yep. Companion. I don't know. Would you call this a horror movie? Because I mean, maybe in a sense of the Terminator, it's like, well, but we're kind of cheering for the robot in this one.
I wouldn't necessarily call it a horror movie. I
Yeah,
would,
it's a dark comedy, I think, primarily.
yeah, I think it is. It is definitely a dark comedy because it definitely made me laugh in points where I'm not necessarily sure I'm supposed to laugh, but it
Oh,
was.
I no, I think every laugh is earned. Like but it's like let's see. Getting to it though, because I guess the horror things comes from the fact that we don't actually see or get a lot of promotion for New Line Cinema's features. They had a they had a pretty strong history in the 80s. They call it the house that Freddie built. Uh,
Yeah, I went to this movie cold in the theaters. I had not even heard of this movie.
oh,
I was
well,
excited to go to this movie and like, yeah, sure, I'll go. I never heard of it, and
okay.
yeah, I had no idea what this movie was.
Honestly, and I can't say I've ever gone into a movie cold on it, truthfully. Well, maybe I have back when I was getting into no budget B movies. Um, but that a lot of the time though with no budget B movies is about the experience with the crowd, and the movie is not produced well. Uh, I love them, but
Huh.
um, so this is, but no, I can't say I've gone into a movie released by a major studio. As I say, New Line was the house that Freddie built, and then everything was going good. They were the official studio. They were owned by Warner Brothers, but they were the official releasing studio of the Lord of the Rings trilogy. And then once the Golden Compass bombed, that took away all their cachet. So it's kind of nice to see something where I don't know. It's kind of when I see the ads and such, they're kind of trying to play it like, oh, dangerous robot thing, and it's kind of like, well, it's as I say, it's just nice to see New Line getting back there. I kind of thought like, oh, this is a Neon movie, or it's on HBO Max, so obviously it's got to be A24. And no, this is a pretty. I mean, A24 horror. That once they released Midsommar and Heretic, they no Heredity. They did release Heretic, and I have that in my notes. But you always expect what people have called heightened horror, and this is definitely
What
not.
is heightened horror exactly? Do they just mean slow?
No, well, it's
Because although I do like those movies, they are very slow.
that's what and I have not given either of them a chance, sadly. And then when I see the
Summer is something to
I,
see. You really have to
um
give it.
what I think the director is Ari Aster. And once I saw his movie with Joaquin, well, I didn't see it obviously. I just said Beau is Afraid with Joaquin Phoenix, and I see the runtime on that, and it's like, what the hell?
And I wanted that movie to end like an hour before it did. It just kept going. It just would not end. And then there was just towards the end, there's penis monster. All right, what the fuck are we doing here exactly? When does this end?
Yeah, I so yeah, yeah, and I've heard all that stuff about it. I'm more of a the
Or,
guy.
you're
The
a
guy.
man or a woman, you will have different interpretations of it,
Oh, and
especially at the beginning.
yeah, and I mean that's intended. I'm trying to think of the other
And
direct.
the, and I didn't think he never should have brought that bitch. I'll put that out there right now.
Well, as I
Well,
say, I have not seen Beau is Not Afraid. So but I'm trying to look at the trying to find my director that I really have only seen one of his features, The Witch.
see
And
that I've seen from beginning to end, but I've heard it was good.
oh, The Witch is a pretty concise one, yeah, and I thought it was very good. Anna Taylor Joy was kind of like embarrassed, but that was like her first movie, so um yeah, that's Robert Eggers, and I do need to see his Nosferatu. That I hear nothing but great things about that one from last year with Bill
Huh.
Skarsgård and Lily Rose Depp. Um, but I got the movie running in my peripheral right now, and so we better get moving. As I say, it's good to see that New Line's doing something like that. And you kind of have to watch this entire movie to really appreciate the fact that they spoil it right at the beginning of the feature. Because this is
He
a,
was
I guess this is, and I think I saw something as I was like, oh, if this is going to be video, I better find a cool background image for myself. And I see posters for this feature on Pinterest, and one of them says a different kind of story from the people who brought you the Notebook. And in the end, I think it is a story about love, but the movie immediately kicks off with, like how love makes you look past all the black and darkness of the world, and you are lucky to experience that once in your life. But Iris, our protagonist, I think it's fair to call her that, Sophie Thatcher. Uh, Sophie Thatcher, just making sure. Speaking of drunkenness, what do you think
a
I've been
fine.
doing?
She is.
Um,
First, like, I'm in. Like, if we have these, like, if this is what sex robots are, I'm in immediately. They look like that and they can do all these things. I'm in. Sign me up. I mean, let's admit it. As a society, it's all what we seem like man, woman. It's all what anybody wants, it seems like. Just a hot person to dote on your every need.
oh no, I'm not saying it isn't. And that is the thing I walked out with feeling a little weird about this movie. Um, so Sophie Thatcher is a emotional support android who fucks, as Jack Quaid eventually uh, describes it to her. She remembers meeting our Josh um, at a supermarket, him fumbling all of the oranges, and that's the meet cute. So, um, but Iris,
That's something else everybody expects now. Everybody expects to like meet somebody in this weird meet cute, and it's just not gonna happen.
yeah,
This is anybody meets.
no, but I think I'll get into my notes about that. But as I say, the opening scene, she's discussing her meet cute and how so lovely it was to meet a man like Josh. And then, most people are lucky to have that experience once in their life. That opens your mind, opens your mind to everything. And she experienced it twice when she met Josh and when she killed Josh. And as I say, you say what's going to happen in the first 5 minutes of the feature. That's a pretty daring move.
That's kind of what Ex Machina, kind of in a way.
Well, no,
I mean,
Ex Machina doesn't really give the game away like that. We don't meet uh out sorry, I haven't watched in a while. Elisa Vixlander um character until, a good 20 minutes in the movie. Um
huh,
so um it's funny, and again, notes and what have you. So I mean, it ends up paying off well, and honestly, I love Chekhov's corkscrew. Yeah, introduce the corkscrew in the first act, and it's going to be used in the final act. Awesome. I don't know if it's as cool as the blender in You're Next, if you've seen that one.
you were next. That sounds familiar. I think you're further along in the movie than I have. I
Okay.
had the movie stopped while we were.
Oh no, I probably am, but I'm only so they've made it to Sergei's lake house, and I don't no no I don't own the lake. I own all the land around the lake. Sorry, I sounded more like Mango than I'd say a Russian, but and it's funny with Rupert Friend playing Sergei. I'm sorry?
He was kind of a comical Russian, wasn't he? Like he
Yes,
was all kind of cartoonish.
right. And it's very funny because I saw a movie with Rupert Friend. Well, I own it, dare I say, um, called "The Death of Stalin," and with Steve Buscemi, Jeffrey Tambor. really big cast. It's from the minds of the guys who did In the Thick of It and In the Loop, British political comedy. But he plays the son of Stalin. And of course, Sergei is obsessed with Stalin. His password to everything is Stalin's birthday. Um, so, and it's funny that Rupert Friend played the son of Stalin, and he had a great line. Like, basically, he's given a cushy job as the either the leader of the Russian athletics or the hockey coach, and he's dealing as his dad has died, as Joseph Stalin died. He's dealing. Before he's aware of it, he's dealing with the fact that the plane crashed with the Soviet hockey team, and it's like, no, 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 plane did not crash. Soviet planes do not crash. Um, so yeah, it's a very comical Russian, and I think the other thing most people would know Rupert Friend for is being the lead inquisitor on well, I've heard mixed reviews. Like a lot of people do not like the Obi-Wan series.
I never watched the Obi-Wan series. Honestly, pretty much all of that Disney Star Wars stuff just comes off like fan fiction to me.
No,
I'm
that's fair.
not
Hey,
seeing
no,
it.
honestly, that's probably the nicest thing you could say about it. Because when people dislike it, oh gosh, they dislike it. Um, as I stated on the Indiana Comic Convention podcast we did, Ian McGregor, like people, I've heard a lot of podcasters give shit to Mary Elizabeth Winstead for taking Ewan away from his wife, and it's like, no, if Ewan McGregor tapped me on the shoulder and said, "Hello there, I'm his." So, um, but I digress. So,
I
uh,
don't know movie since the first time I watched it, but the lady friend when they go to that house,
yeah,
her
Cat.
character off completely different the second time you watch it when you already kind of like know things about the other characters.
Yes, it was very.
I think she comes off more jealous than bitchy the
Yes,
second time
you
seeing it.
you. Oh, you are right because you know, she has that conversation. So
The only one without a companion bot.
that's true, but now it. But well, I mean, spoiler alert. Okay, so uh, Josh and Iris head to Sergei's lake house on the invitation of Kat, and I'm sorry, I did not document her name, and I did not document Patrick's name. Um, Eli is Harvey Guillen. He's made a big splash on um, What We Do in the Shadows, the TV show, and I've still haven't watched the movie, and I own it again. Ugh.
Really? You never seen the movie? I've seen the movie and never watched the TV show.
Well, and I would only know Harvey Guillen from the fact that I listened to the ID10T podcast with Chris Hardwick, and he was on it, so that's my knowledge of that. Um, so they go to this lake house on the invitation of Kat. Lake house is owned by a Russian, Sergey, who's in a dirty business. Um, while the other three people in the so you have Kat, Sergey, Josh, Iris, and then a third party, which is um, Kat's gay friend, Eli, and his boyfriend, Patrick.
Patrick looks like a robot.
I'm
I
sorry?
had a I had a feeling he was a robot the second I saw him. He looks like a robot.
You
Like
know,
if you're a gay fuckbot, it would look like Patrick.
oh, well, you see, I've been doing a lot of just recently Pride Palace, a gay propaganda promotion site. That's not the proper way to say it. Pride Pal. Well, Pride Pal.
I knew it was a conspiracy.
Well, Pride Palace.
Ronnie
I,
Run.
well,
A
I
whole, there's a whole part with at Run Ronnie Run with Scott Thompson, the gay conspiracy.
Oh, well, I have not. You see,
That
every
just now. He's
everybody
on to
everybody says you that no, it's just not as good as the as Mr. Show. So no, I'll have to watch Run Run.
Run, Runny, Run, dude. It's on YouTube, man. We gotta do an episode on that, dude. If you've never
Okay,
seen it,
no, I
so
haven't.
fucking. It's one of my favorite movies.
All right,
Uh,
no. Well, I mean, we're both
Thompson, dude, he rules.
we're both Midwest kids. What can we say?
Nah, man, I was a big Kids in the Hall fan back in the day, man. I loved Kids in the Hall.
Oh no, it was Brain
Introduction.
Candy. Brain Candy is the one I really need to watch. But
Yeah, I haven't seen that in years.
okay, so but what I'm saying about Pride Palace is, I'm very much an ally. I do my best to be an ally. And like, oh, I've bought, stuff from them, pride flags, and then they recently had a deal, and hey, I got into it because the money's going to them, so and it's going to go to good causes, I hope. Like they recently said, oh, with the recent Trump actions, go and buy a free pride flag just by shipping. It's like, well, I already bought the pride flag, and it's like, oh right, well, what do you got? And then I find Neptunian flag, or Neptunic, I should say, sexuality. It's like, oh no, that kind of sums me up. No, I'm not into guys, but you call yourself a lady, and that's a very simplification of that. But yeah, you know, I'm curious. So yeah, you could, but the big problem with that entire promotion was, oh yeah, free pride flag, pay for the shipping, and then the shipping suddenly becomes $20. So
Oh, yeah.
yeah, I mean, dude, you could just ask me to pay for the full price.
I'm willing to just buy this.
Yeah, I would be happy to just buy it. So um,
Yeah, what are you gonna do? It's how they
right.
get you. Poison, by
So
the way.
I know, but I just don't want to be lied to. It's like, don't, so but it goes back. Well, I'll get through my notes. What can I say? So you get to this party. Oh, that's what I was going to get to. It's basically like you have a dance off, and it goes back to Kat, who is the mistress of Sergey, which is something Iris doesn't understand. How can you be with somebody and not love them? And that's why when Kat says, "I don't dislike you, I dislike the idea of you. It makes me feel replaceable." And this is still before we get to the fact that Iris is a robot. Um, and even during like when they're partying and dancing and stuff, you can see Josh, played by Jack Quaid, and I love Jack Quaid, but it's really weird, if you watch The Boys, um, season two, when they're trying to get Queen Maeve on their side, Starlight and Huey. Starlight says, "Oh, this is a twink you've been screwing around with," and this is the like. I hate to beat up on Jack Quaid. You are the son of like the '80s it girl in a sense, Meg Ryan,
Yeah.
and Dennis Quaid, like the masculine guy who didn't have an awesome mullet. Kurt Russell is the king of the '80s, but Dennis Quaid, your conservative parents want you to end up like him. And Jack Quaid is like, yes, that's actually the perfect balance between Meg Ryan and Dennis Quaid, but you want him to be a little more Dennis in a sense. Like I have to watch Scream 5 because I know he ends up being one of the Ghostface killers.
Really? Yeah,
Yeah.
I haven't. I think I'm a movie or two behind on the Scream franchise, but I think He's pretty good in this movie. I think he fits the role pretty well. Like
Oh
he's
no, but I'm just saying if you've watched The Boys, this isn't too far removed from Huey.
yeah, yeah, I suppose not. Like he's geeky, but not so geeky that it's believable he would have some friends.
Yes, yeah, you're right there.
Also, kind of get the sense to where like we haven't seen the flashback scenes, right? That,
Actually, I'm just getting to it because, all right, and I can work through that. So
go ahead.
they have the party. I do not see. I never need to see a Dennis. I mean,
Yeah.
sorry, a Jack Quaid O face again. Um, I'll be happy not to. Um, so, but at
They're
the party, uh,
unsatisfied.
at the party, Josh is dancing with Kat, and Iris gets jealous, and then the next morning, she wants to go by the lake, suggested by Josh, and Josh says, "No, no, the hangover's too bad. You go enjoy this beautiful day. What's the weather like? It's 73 degrees with a 90% of chance of rain in the evening." I live in a smart home. Like I have Google Home, so it's I find that like there's no hiding the reveal of the robot. So we're about to the flashbacks. But she goes to the lake house. Sergey comes down and basically says, "No, Kat's cool with me doing this. Josh is cool with me doing this. This is what you're made for." And tries to rape Iris. Iris, who happens to have a pocket knife, is able to defend herself and kill Sergey. And when she gets back to the house, she's panicking. She only thing she's worried about is not getting to see Josh again, and then that's the entire kick of the robot. Iris go to sleep. And
Where that
yeah, and Josh cares enough about Iris that he wants to give proper goodbyes and just tells her everything. Again, I don't want to call you a fuckbot. That just I hate that sound of that. But you're an emotional support robot who fucks and basically destroys Iris's world. Like, you know, those aren't tears, that's your programming. Those tears come from a reservoir. They refill every time I take it in for maintenance. I love the language bit, you know. Could you speak Chinese? And I will say, thankfully, the movie makes the Chinese slow enough that I can understand it. 2 years at ICC. Um,
the more you learn about Josh, the more you kind of tend to think like he is the type of guy that's in his apartment with piss jugs, right?
no,
Like this shut in loser piece of garbage.
I wouldn't go that far. I think this is the guy who, and he brings it up with Kat later on in the movie. Like, no, just girls do this to me. Um, no, and it goes back to what Iris says before her intelligence is brought down to zero again. Well, I should say, brought from 100 to zero. Um, no, Josh is a guy who, frankly, just doesn't know how to talk to women. Something I can kind of relate to. So,
Yeah,
um,
I don't disagree with that because that I bring in the Android's Dream of Electric Sheep idea, where I believe they live in a world where pretty much everybody has these companion bots, but it's perceived as rude to assume that someone's significant other is one of these companion bots.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's why you're awesome on the show. Like, I know we had our Hogan disagreement at ICC, but no, I mean, no, you're pretty much right, and that's brought up later on. And but again, that brings up the cat thing, like, and this is a Republican nightmare as they keep trying to tell us to have more kids with no social backbone. Um,
Yeah, let's make everything 10 times more expensive, but please have more children.
correct. What are women
God.
what are women gonna do if they can be replaced by fuck bots? Um, but I don't know. So I will get into that, I guess, going through my notes.
Like James Franco, when I first watched this, it took me like 15, 20 minutes to realize, is that James Franco? No, it's not James Franco. I
well,
thought it was James Franco.
that's how
Watch that.
James that is how James Franco acts. I'm not afraid to say
I mean,
that. So I mean, I guess for me, and it's just something I said. It kind of makes me question my feelings about all my friends who are dancers, adult entertainers, and I look at Josh in this movie, and it's like, dude, you don't have to be an asshole to her. You don't have to gaslight her like he did at the party. It's like you know, I think this is something you should love and respect.
you have to be mean to her.
Yeah, well, exactly. It's like, and it's
You
something,
can,
it comes up later in the film once we get to our third act. Um, the more Westworld elements of this. Um, you know, but it's like, no, I mean, one, if you loved her, you would not set her up to murder Sergey. I mean, $12 million versus a relationship. I have not been put in that situation, but from a moral standpoint, I say no.
why would you need to? If you had a robot like that, why would you even bother? You
Well,
already have.
he is renting her. He doesn't even own her.
Yeah, that's another point I had. He's rent to own, which means, man, he's not even her first owner.
Oh, I did not want to think about that. I don't need the sloppy second stuff.
It's fucking disgusting.
Yeah, no, no. I mean, well, and no, I don't want to think of Iris as a cum dumpster. So, but
Fish, Virgin Gore.
I'm sorry.
How fast this movie moves. I think you're a good 15 minutes ahead of me.
Yeah, no, it moves fast.
But
No, as I say, this is a 90 for chill podcast. Um, so, but we pretty much gone through it then, just discussing how Josh is a complete and total asshole. When things settle down after the murder of Sergey,
yeah,
and
I know. I really feel bad for the gay couple of it. Like when all
oh
said and done, movie, like those poor guys, they're
well,
it
no,
really they were kind of just
well that was
they,
that so going back to Isaac Asimov's three rules of robotics. Well, I know the big one about you can't harm. I have not seen iRobot, nor have I read it. It's funny about Asimov. I am more familiar with all of the actual educational books he wrote or put his name on about the planets and everything. I was a big astronomy guy. Uh,
man, even those. I got a couple of Asimov books that I think iRobot was in there. I haven't read it. I don't think I read iRobot. I read a few of the other stories in there. It's interesting stuff.
yeah, but as I say, robots are not supposed to cause harm. Well, the problem is Josh, to make this happen, created a mod which lets him go back. Basically, as Eli says, you jailbroke your sex robot. So, um, yeah, I'm just going through my notes. But it's what. Hmm.
I kind of wish the two guys were in this movie more.
Yeah, no, that is a problem with the movie. It being so fast paced. Um, but it's one of those like when it comes to the idea of Iris, it's like I was the guy. You know, I moved out to Champaign because by the end of my time in Peoria, I was all my friends were either dancers or bartenders. Um, I mean, are genuine friends, yes, but I can't live on transactional relationships, be it booze or boobs. Um, especially when we're all,
Sustainable.
I'm sorry.
It's not sustainable for anybody.
Right. Well, and no, everybody's supposed to get out of the bartending or get out of the stripping. But it's like, I just end up hating Josh because it's like, this is a beautiful woman. Regardless if she will listen to all your commands, you should treat her with the utmost respect at all times. Why are you being an asshole? And it makes me think to probably thoughts my ex-girlfriend had as we were watching the first three seasons of Westworld together. It's like, yeah, yeah, no, that's crazy. Like, no, you can't. That's adultery. It's a robot. It's not adultery. All that stuff.
Well, it's also the another point between this and Westworld is I think that the tech guys kind of bring it up is like
Oh
they
yes,
kind of over
yeah.
it like to these people just end up chaining these robots up in
Robots in
their
the basement. Right.
and just eating the shit out of them.
Yes. Yeah. Exactly. Again later on, but so
And
Iris.
how people are.
Well, Josh has enough emotional attachment to Iris that he tries to say his farewells, which is when he destroys her world by saying, "Oh, you're a robot."
Pussy he's going to have in a long time, and he knows it.
Yeah. So so Iris is able to escape, and they have to bring Josh and Eli in on the entire plan. Sergey has $12 million at this lake house. Kat and Josh decided they're going to kill Sergey because Sergey is a bad guy, bad husband, bad person in general, bad boyfriend, but he's not a mobster. He is a dirt farmer.
To make those kind of accusations. Bad husband, okay, sure, he's an adulterer, but even then, who knows? We don't know what kind of a situation he has between him and his wife.
Yeah,
His wife,
bad boyfriend, we do know. Like, um, so, but the point of the matter is he's a sod farmer. That's where he made all his money. He's not a Russian mobster, which is how Kat tricked Josh into deciding, oh yeah, we can kill him and take the money. They brought Patrick and Eli along to be patsies, witnesses. And once they find out that once Iris escapes, there's no need for witnesses. Everybody's got to be on the same page. So Eli and Patrick are, brought in to, like they'll get a even three-way split, and that's when we find out that Patrick is a companion because Pat, they're saying they won't give him an equal share because you could have traded him in for a long time ago, and that's a real sad thing is when we find out that Eli really loves Patrick, and Patrick has learned that yes, he's a companion robot, but he likes what he's doing. He loves Eli. In the meantime, Iris is out in the woods. She's got Josh's phone so she can reset all her specs or upgrade her specs and trying to figure out how to escape. And what I really admire about this, and it's another thing about Westworld for me, is Iris and Patrick are far from perfect people. I mean, not perfect appearance, I should say. You can see scars on above Patrick's lip, and
at the beginning, even
And
You catch the little limp walk she does, I think, towards the beginning of the movie.
yeah, no, she's got a an interesting gum line, I should say. So yeah.
There, she's a beautiful woman.
Oh no, no, I'm not saying she isn't a beautiful woman, and this movie really makes me think, oh, I gotta watch A24's Heretic because she's in that one as one of these I think they're supposed to be Mormons trying to preach the word of the Church of Latter-day Saints who get trapped by Hugh Grant.
Yeah, yeah. I've been wanting to watch that for a while.
But it's like those but she was actually Sophie Thatcher was actually raised Mormon, and she's very much like, oh God, thank God I got out of the church. So she really kind of, and like these roles of Iris and whoever she is in Heretic, like really play to her own experience. Um, but as they are hunting Iris, and it's funny going back to the flashback scene, I did not realize the song playing when the flashback started was Iris by the Goo Goo Dolls. I don't want the world to see me because yeah, so as they're going out to hunt Iris and as Iris is up to her intelligence to the level of Ivy League, she's trying to figure out how to get home. And Patrick and Eli, that's where we find out that Patrick realizes he's a companion robot and still loves him. And just a great line, fuck you, daddy. I'm in love with a robot. Um, so, and I got other notes, but no, I don't know. When it comes to Josh, it's like, dude, you're a total dickhead. I am a total codependent cunt myself, which means, yes, once I have somebody in my life, I'm going to do everything for them. I'm basically the companion. So why would you not want to treat her the same way?
But like you see her just being so sweet and nice, like the whole time, and then you just see that all of a sudden he turns her back on to yeah, you're just a fuck blah blah blah. Like, dude, fucking why? You could have just left her turned off. Like, there's no need for that. You really have to go out of your way to hurt a robot's feelings.
Yeah, but
Why? Why?
no, I
He's
and
so
it
nice to you.
well, it kind of comes back to the fact, like, dude, they did not think this plan out to begin with. I caught that on the second watch. It's like you can't like because it all goes to shit once he realizes, oh, I didn't destroy them hard drive. It's like, so your plan was frame the robot for murder and
And
walk
complete
away.
the fact that it probably just it records everything that you do to it.
Yeah, no, you had to figure like you should have gone Terminator 2 on her. Find a furnace.
Like, you figure the way things are now, you figure you're always being recorded, right?
Yeah,
How do
especially.
you figure your companion robot's not constantly recording you like your cell phone?
Right, exactly. So so yeah. Now I see in my notes so I got highlighted notes from the second time I watched it. Yeah, I watched the first time, wrote all these notes, and then um kids, what can I say? So I had to watch it again. Um and like but I catch it and it's like robo shaming. Like what they did to Eli, like, no, we're not gonna give you a half of what we're getting out of this. Like, so you're robo shaming me? It
Kind of a like, man, we can't be giving your robot a share. Come
yeah,
on now.
but it's like no, like they were basically saying like I use my robot as a tool. Why are you, just fooling around with yours? Like, so cat is just
I would like one just to use as a babysitter at this point. You have any idea how hard it is to find a reliable babysitter?
oh no, I
Canadian bot just watch my baby.
well,
That would
this actually plays into a movie I watched while I was at C2E2 last month, Chicago Comic Entertainment Expo. They had Netflix in the hotel rooms, and I watched this movie called Extinction, which is a movie with Michael Pena as your lead, but it's basically about how AI became self-aware and they won the war. Humans retreated off to Mars, and then all the AI robots went and erased their memories to think they were human, so they could think they were human. And then the humans come back from Mars. It's like we're taking it back, type thing. So,
that
uh,
sounds familiar. They come out a few years ago.
I'm sorry,
They come out a few years ago.
2018. Yeah,
Okay,
um,
yeah, I think I've seen that before.
yeah. Michael Pena, Michael Coulter, the guy who played Luke Cage, I think was his name. Lizzie Kaplan, I know her from True Blood season one and Cloverfield. So, I mean, it goes back to the entire relationship, going back to Blade Runner. I won't go as far back as do Robot Stream Electronic Sheep, um, because I haven't read any Dick. Sorry if that's a dick move. Um,
You're supposed to put it in your mouth.
so,
Talk about the same thing, right?
well, I'm just going on the fact about the relationship Decker has with the robot played by the replicant played by Sean Young. And it's like, no, you can't actually care about these things. And as you say, it's kind of sad we don't get more Patrick and Eli in this movie because, well, Eli's kind of cold-blooded when it comes to hunting her. Like I just saw him shoot the 350 second. Oh god damn, that's loud.
I would argue some of us care about our phones in the same way he cares about his sex robot.
Well, the phone doesn't care back.
It's true, but they wouldn't know that.
Well, but I mean,
To
we do
them,
learn.
they don't know how to exist without their phone.
Yeah, well, yeah, but I'm just saying,
I can
Eli.
express now. How do I live? What do I do?
Well, I'm just saying, Eli has the advantage of knowing that the phone loves him. So that's all I'm saying. Um, let's see, robo shaming. Uh, when Iris gets a hold of Josh's phone and is able to make herself smarter, more aggressive, what have you, it kind of reminds me of the movie Lucy with Scarlett Johansson, directed by Luc Besson.
I don't think I ever actually watched it. I know what it is though.
I thought it's a fun, silly little action movie. It is totally unrealistic, but it's the guy who gave you the Fifth Element, and I don't want to get too much into Luc Besson because I will give him credit. He puts a ring on it a lot, but they are always half his age.
Go for it.
So,
As long as it's consensual, who are we to judge? Good for him.
nah, it's Luke
Don't
Luc Besson has also been Me Too, so it hasn't always been consensual. So
This, for fuck's sake, almost everyone's been Me Too'd for every little reason.
Your cable TV is experiencing difficulties. Please do not panic. Resist the temptation to read or talk to loved ones. Do not attempt sexual relations, as years of TV radiation have left your genitals withered and useless.
Well, I'll be damned.
Everybody's looking for love. Some never find it.
Honey?
Kiss me.
Others have all the luck. But in the year 2017, that luck can run out.
Can you fix her?
I'm sorry, kid. Find yourself a tracker named Johnson. He'll get you a cherry.
I'm E. Johnson.
I think I made a mistake. I want you to go into Zone 7 and get me one just like her.
This isn't a dating service. Those robot chassis are kept in the worst part of the zone. We call it the graveyard.
You got the job.
That's what I figured. Relax. Been this way 100 times before.
We got a policy against trackers in these parts.
Just keep your head down low and try not to get shot.
Don't let him get away!
Are you sure you're okay?
When looking for lost love, you never know what you'll find. Cherry 2000.
hey, CatBus Russ here, just cutting in because I think during our conversation about Companion with Gregory Carl, I think it kind of went off the rails in terms, I believe, of a consent conversation and portions of that. And I don't think it looks well, definitely on my podcast. And I don't think it looks well on Gregory. So I'm just going to speak over that review, that portion of the episode. Hopefully I won't expand the episode by too much. But when you know, he went off a little bit at the end as well. So maybe it all can balance out and still be the same length. But I digress. So, thinking about robot movies, I was thinking, well, I better throw something in here to fill in this little space. Pardon the interruption bit, dare I say. So, I went to 1988, the Orion feature Cherry 2000 starring Melanie Griffith. It's a story about, it's a world 2017. That's what they envisioned, where people, men, were making their money off of recycling, cleaning up this planet, whatever was habitable still. So we're talking about the coastlines go between that and the Mississippi River, wasteland. Men making money off recycling. Women have basically all become prostitutes. There's a lot of baggage with that, and you know you can't get that kind of commitment, so there are sex bots. And our main character, played by David Andrews, I believe is his name. I will go and pull that up on IMDb, trying to multitask. Decides to purchase a robot, a Cherry robot of the year 2000. So there's your movie name. And after a impromptu kitchen sex scene where they forgot about the limitations of the wash basin, she basically gets too wet and won't work, and she's a write-off. Fortunately, he was able to save her personality in her hard drive disk, but it's 2017. You're not going to find a Cherry 2000 unless you go into the Nevada Wasteland, Section 7 as they call it, with a tracker to find one. So that's what he's determined to do. And the only tracker willing to take on this job is E. Johnson, Melanie Griffith. There's just a lot of reluctance between the two. Basically, the tension of, you're going to tell me that this job to get a sex robot is worth putting my life on the line. It's got a hell of a cast, and I'm going to get to that. David Andrews is our lead, and Melanie Griffith is the poster girl, and Pamela Gidley is Cherry. It's got a hell of a cast for people like me. It's got Brian James in a bit part, and Tim Thomerson, and for you Samurai Cop fans, and Tango and Cash, Robert Z'Dar. Actually, Larry Fishburne. Sorry, Lawrence, but this was during his Larry period. It gets a bit role as a lawyer coming up with contracts for said hookers. So it's fun to watch because of this ridiculous nature of this world. The direction from Steve DeJohnette is just fair, but I will say this guy did direct one of my favorite. Well, I wouldn't say favorite. Well, it's one of my. I say one of the best 80s movies I saw, which would be Miracle Mile, about basically what's going to lead to this post-apocalyptic world, I suppose. Definitely worth a watch. That's all I can say about that one. Yeah, directions off, continuities hit and miss, but everybody seems to know the assignment and the silliness of it. I guess I'm just kind of disappointed in the ending, because in the end we do just get over the fact that maybe we shouldn't be screwing robots, but it's more just the connection that our lead had with this robot. Like, the robot might be programmed to love him and wait on every need, say like Iris in Companion, but he learned to love it. He just grew to love it back. So, I mean, that kind of sounds like a solid relationship. But it's definitely a weird feature, a fun feature. Not high art by any stretch of the imagination, but you could see that they tried. So, if you got 1 hour, 35 minutes, because, probably even a little longer, because credits weren't that long in the 80s. I think this one is worth a view. Just don't hold it up as high sci-fi.
And now, a feature presentation. Oh, very well. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Get ourselves some snacks.
All right, we're back on the same page, I think. So I'm going through my notes. Lucy. No, this does make me want, though, again, coming back to Jack Quaid, just going off my notes. Right now, we have that brilliant scene where Iris has escaped. She got into the car, and then the car gets pulled over because, Josh owns it.
Doesn't Patrick have the most beautiful blue eyes?
Those are some stunning eyes. I am not going to question that.
They are beautiful.
No. Iris should have taken some pointers when she was working on hers. But it's just the fun. Like, this is just a fun scene where Iris is trying to think her way out of it. She cannot lie. Companions cannot lie. So she changes her language setting to German so the cop can't understand anything.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that part.
And it's oh, like so Eli is killed by Iris in self-defense. Patrick ends up getting reset and falling in love with Josh. And Josh uses the same kind of mod to jailbreak him. And basically says he turns his aggression up to 100%, like, you will stop Iris, you will stop anybody from your mission. So we have a dead cop now, and eventually Kat's gonna end up dead. Spoiler alert, I'm sorry. It's very weird, like, and no, it's not very weird, because I say, when it comes to podcasts, like, I listen to movie podcasts about movies I watched. I want to hear what other people think. Recently, my friends from Cleveland, the B3 podcast, um, they did a they did Near Dark, 1987, I think it was, Kathleen Bigelow's vampire western. Um,
I know that movie.
yes, Bill Paxton, Lance Henriksen.
I had to have seen it. This movie sounds really familiar.
Oh, it's brilliant. And they were well, we don't know what the lore is, so who cares? It's like, oh, come
87?
on. I'm sorry?
87?
Yes, Tim Thomerson, Jack Death, if you're a Full Moon features guy.
Must have seen that when I was young. I'll have to look that up.
Yeah, Jeanette Goldstein, Lance Henriksen, Bill Paxton, directed by Catherine Bigelow of Point Break, and for her career, more importantly, um, The Hurt Locker. Yeah. So, but I'm just saying, like, they totally did not get the movie. Oh, no, it's totally boring. It's like, no, you don't understand the subtlety. Like, nobody should know about vampires, what have you. Like, everything makes perfect sense if you just.
Well, nobody gets subtlety anymore because every movies nowadays, everything's spelled out to you from the get-go. It
That is.
doesn't rely on acting, it relies on dialogue telling you exactly what's happening.
Oh, and I wish the dialogue was good.
Yeah.
No, well, but it's kind of sad when the gals at B3 are my age. So it's like, really? Like, and it goes back to you about back to Indiana Comic Convention about you
Oh.
saying like, oh, and like, no, people just want to be entertained. They don't want to think about everything too deeply. They are the types who think, no, you can't watch Blazing Saddles because all of the words. It's like that's the point of the movie. Um, they're not comedians. I'll say that much about the girl.
That drow episode of Community away.
I never really, I only saw like 2 episodes of Community, so.
It's a brilliant show. The drow episode is brilliant.
Oh no, I have heard no, and shit, I'm 3 seasons behind on Rick and Morty, so uh,
Yeah, I'm probably a couple seasons behind too. I'm a big Dan. I don't know. Like, I guess I was a bigger Dan Harmon fan back in the day, and then I just kind of, I don't know. I don't get a chance to watch things like I used to.
that's the biggest problem. It's like, and it's one of those upsetting things. Like, okay, I know you're not a Star Wars TV guy, but Andor. Well, I guess you could go back to Game of Thrones when it was suddenly, oh, we got to take 2 years between seasons.
I've heard really good things about Andor lately.
And the first season of Andor is excellent. My big issue is like it's a weird balance I'm looking for. A balance in the force, dare I say. Like, okay, we did a Star Wars series with no space wizards. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's good TV, but at least Rogue One gave me Donnie Yen as a worshiper of the force. Um
Yeah.
as
One I should really go back and watch. I don't think I gave it the proper appreciation when I saw it at the time.
well, it's like
It's fun.
Rogue One is probably the best. So, when it comes to Star Wars, the best movie is probably Empire still. Um, and I only can say that because after doing the Last Jedi Masterpiece podcast, or I should say panel, but that was a podcast released back on May the 4th. Um, they are basically told me like, yeah, no, it is actually a retread of Empire. It's like, God damn, you're right. Um, so I would say the best Star Wars movie is Empire, followed by The Last Jedi, followed by Star Wars, and then Rogue One. And a lot of people will say, no, Rogue One. Rogue One is probably the best directed Star Wars movie. That's a fair statement. Um, But yeah, but as I say, it still had the Force in it. Andor does not have the Force in it, at least the first season, and I'm kind of disappointed. But it brings me back to Guardians of the Galaxy. Why did everybody love that? Because everybody was Han Solo. There were no space wizards.
Yeah.
So, but it's like, and that's why people dislike the prequels. There's no Han Solos. And when it goes back to TV shows um, on Disney Plus, I think a lot of people love the new batch. Not the new batch. Sorry. I have recently started watching the Gremlins series on Max.
Oh,
Secret,
it's a
Secret,
cartoon.
yeah, it's a lot of fun. You got James Hong the first two episodes. James Hong, best known as probably uh, I think it was Daniel Lopan from Big Trouble in Little China.
Turning that on for the baby. Maybe she'll watch it with me.
Oh, it does get a little get a little intense in the second episode. Like,
I'm young. All right, gotcha.
well, no, it's like I would love to show my niece and nephew it, but they are my niece is gonna be 10 this year. My nephew is gonna be 13. So,
Yeah, she's only 4. I don't think it would hold her attention, honestly. Anyway,
well, it's not Bluey, and I bloody love Bluey. I mean,
she's into Bluey.
I'm sorry.
She's not into Bluey.
Oh, dang. Oh, all right. So, um, but no, I was just going through my notes. I see, like, after my Lucy thing, it's like, um, it does make this movie does make me want to watch Novocaine, though. The movie with Jack Quaid where he cannot feel pain.
Yeah, it does kind of look like it could be a fun movie. It kind
Yeah.
of reminds me of Gas in a way. It's almost the same thing.
Did you say Kick-Ass?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean that
that
was
makes sense. Yeah.
he couldn't feel pain
Well, no, Kick-Ass could feel pain.
on the costume.
Well, I'm just saying, no, Kick-Ass got his ass kicked a lot.
But it looks like Novacaine's gonna get his ass whooped a lot too.
But I'm just saying, Novocaine is not going to feel it. There's a difference.
Neither did Kick Ass.
Yes, he did.
I don't think he felt pain. He didn't feel pain for some reason.
No, Kick-Ass felt pain. He was hospitalized.
Get my comic.
Well, no, maybe your comic book knowledge. Sorry. I will give you that. But no, in the movie, no, when Kick-Ass got his ass kicked, he got his ass kicked.
Those were fun fucking flicks, though.
No, I think I still think the first Kick-Ass movie is the best comic book movie I've seen.
Yeah, it is fun.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting it to be nearly as fun as it was when I watched it.
Oh, well, I don't know. I had people upset at work, like, no, you can't go and see Kick-Ass. They use the C word. I'm sorry, a 12-year-old uses the C word. It's like,
I'll watch it more.
yeah, exactly. I'm sorry. Like, I love my British humor. Um, just going through my notes further. Is Bee Boop the worst nickname you could give a robot companion, regardless if she knew she was a robot?
Beep boopy, yeah, it definitely sounds like a racial slur for a robot.
Yeah, I mean, I like the boop because me and my ex, we always like to play around with the boop, like and like her favorite wrestler when she was watching wrestling with me before she got married and was watching WWE was Chris Statlander, who did the boop as part of her thing. So, um, so Chekhov's corkscrew, not perfect appearance. Do good thing, Patrick. Oh, okay. There is just a little note I took when Patrick goes and captures Iris and kills the police officer. If Patrick was not white, would that have happened?
Uh, yeah, probably, because I mean, he is a robot. His aggression was jacked way the hell up.
But I'm just saying the cop would have shot him, would have put an entire clip in him.
I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. This cop seemed like a decent guy.
Well,
Seemed
you
like
say
this cop vibes from him. He's just in the way he tries to communicate with her.
no, but that's still trying to talk a white woman down.
He's still he doesn't know any other way. He's still a known white man. He doesn't
But,
know any other way.
but I'm just saying, if it was a minority, totally different experience.
I don't know. I don't get those vibes off this guy.
No, no, I'm saying the cop is well written, but I'm just saying it's like goes back to the how cinema and television makes us worship cops, and then um you shoot Ashley Babbitt, I think it was the one person who ended up getting shot in the insurrection, and she's getting a settlement with the government while Breonna Taylor is just murdered by cops.
I just think it's hilarious how he just starts speaking English as louder when he
Yes.
starts.
Oh, right. Like, oh yeah, that's how you're gonna figure out the.
Well, I'm just going to speak louder so you understand me now.
Yeah. But that's the brilliance of the scene is because she totally understands what he's saying, and but she can't lie. So it's like she's doing her best to say, "No, I'm in danger." Um, so I'm all the way in the movie where
I
Josh,
forgot. He caves in that cop's skull.
yes, no,
That was pretty
really,
gruesome.
that was pretty brutal, and you don't really get to see it all until the scene where after Patrick has captured Josh. No, sorry, Patrick has captured Iris for Josh, and then Josh decides to basically say, "Look, you know, you're not as smart as you think you are. You said you feel pain." Sets her hand on fire, and then has her shoot herself as a
How mad would you be if you saw that sex robot pull up in the sheriff's car? Like, dude, really? You're gonna bring it here?
what else are you gonna do with it? And never mind, you gave him instructions.
Don't bring it here.
Well, then you almost got away with it if you would have known how to destroy the hard drive. Yeah,
Oh man.
you have Patrick in the police gear. I mean, you have
Well,
to admire Patrick for caving a person's skull in and not spilling any blood on the uniform. So,
damn right.
I mean, yeah, if
And
John
I
just
love
like this is just such an ill-conceived plan. It's like another week, maybe you would have understood everything you had to do. And that's
that.
we get into the conversation like, so what do you think happened? Well, he modded her. Why would somebody do that? Well, why do they put these in basements and torture them?
Yeah, why do people do what they do? Who fucking knows?
Well, I don't really even want to think too deep. Well, I don't know. It's a weird thing, especially in the time of murder porn and crime, people watching crime docs. It's like it would be a boring show if you did not make the killer somewhat relatable. And I think we've created a generation. And fortunately, I think the generation is ours. Or for me, I'm Gen X. I know you're a couple years younger than me.
Damn, Patrick, it didn't mean killer.
I'm sorry.
I just thought Patrick just stabbed her.
Oh, yeah. No, that's where you're at. No,
Have to say,
Patrick is just hunting down the technicians now in my feed. Which is fun. Like I was wondering what happened to Jabuki Young White. He plays Teddy the technician who survived. Um he's a Daily Show correspondent. Like he was like the youngest correspondent, obviously the gayest correspondent. I mean that as a compliment. Um no, I mean he was young, he was gay. Like, yeah, you're
yeah,
pretty clear about what you are.
yeah,
Um
I've been writing a bit about that idea. About when you say gay, it doesn't necessarily mean bad, but I don't want to do
well
that. I'm
no,
not.
yeah, no, that's a fair bit to write about. We still gotta get over that shit. Um because gay is something that
I feel like I became a gay man the second I became a father. Fatherhood's gay, dude, but it's a great thing.
well, no, I would say it's like no. Well, no. Where my head was going with that, like, well, gosh, you have one. I don't want to have any more. So, there's a great robot chicken stuff, and it's still a little dated. And I'm surprised how quickly things change. And I'd say I'm surprised, and then it's like, oh gosh, if things can quickly change when people are sane, what the fuck's gonna happen with the Trumpism again?
It really is, man. Like this is some super villain shit. Like you really woke her up to have a nice dinner to tell her she's a fuckbot and don't mean shit.
No, yeah, no, that is that. No, I would say that's not super villain shit. That is jilted ex-boyfriend shit, and that's why Josh needs a fucking emotional support robot who fucks because he's not looking to better himself. And it goes back to like his speech, like you know how hard it is for a person like me, and that's no different than the bullshit white victimhood stuff right now. Like, you know, DEI has deprived me of so many opportunities. It's like, dude, there's no work. You're not getting any of those opportunities now. But, you want to feel like you're the victim, and it's like you couldn't have done something like every I go back in my life and it's like the big difference for me was I could have probably gone to a Division 3 college to wrestle. And maybe, who knows, maybe I thought I was better than Division 3. Or the truth of the matter is I didn't know what the fuck I wanted to do with myself. So, junior college, good move for me. But that's always the thing like, well, I could have grown up differently that way. And, you know, no, that's
A rental like that reflects poorly on her instead of him.
what the
When he calls her a rental, like
oh
you're a rental, like that really reflects more poorly on you, bud.
yeah, no, you like I don't know. I go back and think it's like my no, my parents are always and my grandparents on top of that were always like, no, you buy cars, you do not lease them. Little did they know their uncle was gonna my uncle, their son was gonna go bankrupt after they both well, I don't think they both passed. But and I should not pick on my uncle because I went bankrupt 20 years ago. Um, but like no, it's like you do not lease. You do not lease. You do not rent. If you can't own it, you shouldn't even consider it. And when I think back to that, my uncle was buying Camaros every or leasing Camaros. So He
Yeah.
he turned out all right. Just took the right woman.
Back then,
I'm sorry.
it was easier back then to.
It was, but no, it's a oh gosh, I don't even want to think about that shit because it's not like I.
Know anybody who can just buy a vehicle right now? Because I sure as hell don't.
Well, no, but I'm saying like it was easier to lease stuff too back then because everybody's looking for a sucker. Now we're in a position where we're all suckers. We've been priced out. So yeah, we find out that Iris, they did not destroy Iris's hard drive, so your entire plan goes to shit. Josh tells Patrick to kill the cop, to kill the empathic guys. Josh realizes that, um, no, sorry, Patrick realizes Josh was using his love for Eli to do it. Patrick commits suicide, but saving one of the technicians allowed Iris just be made human essentially. And we have a great scene where she's got the gun on Josh and shoots it like, we both know the gun's not loaded. Shoots a bullet. Hey, I found the bullets. I'm sorry that I feel terrible for doing that. That's the first lie I ever told. I see the appeal. That's the brilliant dialogue this feature has. Right there. But well, we'll get to it. I mean, we're not too far away from this feature ending. Um, Josh plays on the fact that Iris was programmed to love him, so she's going to resist trying to destroy him, and that makes Josh a further asshole. It's like you could just walk away so many times.
Yeah, but it's the only time he's ever gonna have to feel powerful because he knows he's a nothing in his life.
Yeah, no, you nailed it on the point right there, and it's like
Where do you think he works? I imagine he probably works in the customer service industry somewhere. Probably something very menial.
no, you're. I don't think you're too far removed as you talk to somebody in customer service. um, he's not a guy who's learned to love his career. I will say that. I mean, it's the entire idea that, well, and I think it's more of a white entitlement thing. Like, mom and dad had everything, so I should have everything. And if it's not happening that way, the world is wrong, not me, type
Yeah.
argument.
Yeah, like he went to school, he's got all these student loans, but he didn't end up with the career he thought he would.
No, yeah, you can say that too. I'm just saying, it's like, it's,
Entertainment studies or some shit like that. He thought
well,
he would be like a big shot somewhere.
for me, being a kid who grew up in Caterpillar country, a lot of people did not think they'd actually have to go to school. They could just get a job at Caterpillar like their parents did. And that worked for the boomers. I'll say that. Hi, Mom. um,
I stayed with my dad in Eaton. Like, yeah, all my life. He was all like, it's a good job. It's a good job. And that by the time I got on there, like, it was an okay job, but I mean, it wasn't the great job it was when he started there.
well, no, and I think my parents had a long resentment for me quitting Caterpillar. They got me in. If I would have stuck around on the floor, maybe I could have gotten into management. But I would say also telling me, having to be a union member was a frustration for me after my dad was a top labor relations representative. So we got jack rocked during those strike times. a couple of times.
Yeah.
So
Um,
I didn't feel comfortable with that. And never mind, I didn't like the job. So, um,
yeah, factory work is. I don't know how they expect you to not be on drugs and work at a factory.
well, they expect you not to be on drugs because if you're on drugs, you definitely should not be working heavy machinery.
It's so fucking repetitive and boring.
Oh no! I'm not denying that. But I'm just saying it's like,
Like, come on, a little bit. I can't have a little bit of weed.
well,
But
we are in a we are for me, damn, I'm 25 years removed from my factory work, but I mean, I look at my little brother who has a CDL, and I know he's totally clean and sober, and he hates the fact that I might mention, oh yeah, I smoke weed, maybe in front of my niece and nephew, maybe. It's legal in this state. It's okay. But no, too many double standards. Nobody, the people, well, it goes back to my liquor store job as I'm dealing with a Turk and a Brazilian who are trying to buy booze, and one of them didn't have their ID. And, as we wait for him to get his ID, the other one says, "Why are you guys, why, what, the rest of the world lets people drink at 18. What's the problem in America?" It's like, it's not a problem. It's just the generation ahead of us wants to make sure they have power over the generation beneath them.
well,
And
did we try once back in the '70s, and that was just a whole host of other problems?
well,
I
no,
don't know.
look, they didn't have it. Well, I don't think until the 70s did they really actually have a drinking age.
Well,
I
I thought the drinking age was 18 for a little
Oh
while.
no, well, so what I'm saying, and that might not be the most accurate history, is I'm saying the hippies came along, and that's when we started having drinking ages to stop people from thinking about the what the hippies are doing. And so I'm just saying it was nothing more than a control thing, i.e., like, well, we got to deny these hippies something. And then sadly, the hippies became the boomers, and they like, well, we can't let them get it. We can't let them have. We couldn't get it, so we shouldn't have it. They shouldn't have it, type shit. But yeah, no, the drinking age in Illinois, I think, was 19, and that was only beer and wine, and it was a federal thing. So, you know, all the states who needed to make sure the youth would fall in line with their racist, anti-women policies could be controlled. So, yeah, so that's how I explained it to people, to these immigrants, not immigrants. I mean, they're just visitors as far as I could tell. You know, like because I was telling them, no, if you gotta, well, you want to bring something to surprise your dad back in Brazil, get him some Centauri. I don't really think that should be too surprising, but who knows?
I don't know. We got all kinds of weird hang-ups in this country. They don't have in other countries,
Yeah.
like about, especially about sex, dude. When people are so weirdly like hung up about that around in this country, where
Oh,
it's, I don't
well,
know,
geez,
man.
I don't want to think about what Europe would be like with companions. There'd probably be no actual like that's, where's the birth rate gonna go?
Who knows? Shit.
Well, but no, like America, you got to keep in mind, America was colonized by people who were too religiously nuts that England did not want to keep.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
All right, so yeah, and it goes back to Deadpool 2, when Deadpool does a fourth wall break saying, "Oh, we were top R-rated movie in the world." I mean, we were not in the U.S. We were behind Passion, but in the rest of the world who doesn't believe in God, we were number one. I mean, that's probably the reason why we have an American Pope right now is because we're the only place where religion is a Christianity, I should say, is this thing.
Yeah, this is true, sadly.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I'm not a Christian. I'm an atheist, so
Oh, I just, yeah. I don't know. I think religion really holds us back around here.
no, it does. It does.
Bigotry comes from.
Yep.
They're supposed to be the most accepting, yet they're the most bigoted.
Oh yeah, no, that's entirely the reason I fell out of religion was basically like, whoa, 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 whoa. You're saying I can be a bigot because this says this in the Bible? It's like, dude, if I'm gonna let you judge me, which I'm not gonna let the guy who told you to judge me. So I gave up on like, no, there could be it's one of those frustrating things for me who's in a town full of collegiate scholars. Like, well, you're not really an atheist because you're not denying God. It's like, no, I'm telling you, I don't give a shit if he exists or not. I'm not looking for him. And there's
Hmm.
there is a possibility, no matter how slim, that God is a thing.
These people really are so dumb.
Yep.
All that cash, dude. All that cash in that safe. They really could have just cut and left a long fucking
Oh
time
no,
ago.
you just burned the fucking house down.
I know, right? Like, what are
That
you
no,
doing?
that's the thing in my second ones. It's like, but I think we did address my notes in my second viewing. Like,
Yeah, pile up that cash and go.
yeah, no, like, yeah, like it's a good thing. Okay, yeah, um,
Yeah,
yeah, no, it was the dumbest of plans. Like, you could have killed Sergey and gotten away with it. You could have at least gotten to Canada before they figure any shit out.
right? Like, they could have been long gone.
Oh no, it's not like when I worked at a bank. I did not have my plan to get the 250,000 there and get to Canada before anybody would know it happened. So, no, I'm not going to apply to any banks in the near future.
That's a career in Mexico.
Well,
That's what I would imagine you would do because you already got your gear in the car. All you really need is
oh,
to be a El Hashid or whatever the fuck. I don't know.
no, no, no. No, the only reason I'd say Canada is because it's only 6 hours away.
Yeah, that's true. And you don't have to pick up another language. I don't
No,
know. I think Mexico would be a lot easier to get into, though.
I'm sorry.
I think Mexico would be a lot easier to get into than Canada would be.
Canada's only issue would be like just the chance I get inspected. And it's the same thing that happens at Mexico. It's like, well, the Mexicans probably would not inspect my vehicle as thoroughly. The Canadians might. Like, if I was to rob the bank I worked at,
Yeah, they'd be looking for you by the time you got 6 hours to that border.
no, no. Now we're giving away details of my plan.
Well, you don't look at that
But
bank
no,
anymore.
I believe me, I had a way to get to Canada. I had a way to get to Canada before anybody should be able to find out. It's just an issue of being my vehicle being inspected. Hey, why do you have an extra $240,000 in your vehicle than we allow?
Yeah, hell, they're sketchy about that. Just here in this country, get pulled over with some cash on you. See how fast they take it from you.
Well, fortunately, you might be able to bribe a cop in our case. The border is an entirely different thing. But I digress. So No, it was a lot of fun. Dare I say the initial postponement of this podcast is I get to watch it a second time and really get to investigate things I may have missed and such. So I didn't really get an opportunity like this since I was supposed to. Have you seen on YouTube Kayfabe, the unreal story about the true sport of professional wrestling?
I think so.
That was something Tim Loss suggested. And we had two dates to record it, and he did not meet any of those dates. And to Tim's credit, he still says, "Hey, you want to be on this podcast with Russ?" I'm not responsible, but
Well, recently?
no, this is back in so I think I
Okay.
talked to Tim back, and so Tim and I did a podcast back in 2003, no, 2023, and then we tried to do another one, and then he couldn't make it both times.
Yeah, he's good at that.
Yeah, and but Tim said no, no, to basically when I was promoting like, hey, be a guest on my podcast, and Tim would say, yeah, be a guest on his podcast. I'm not responsible, but you can be. So Tim's a good guy as far as I can tell.
Tim's a smackhead.
Tim failed me, and he basically said like, hey, if you're a better person than him, don't fail Russ. So you are a better person than Tim. I got a little bit of editing to do. It won't be the F bombs, I'll tell you that. Or my C bomb. Like, come on, people, bring it. Um, but thank you very much, Gregory. It's been a late night, but I appreciate you coming out and you know, just having this conversation. You're the guy who like I was throwing Companion out just because I knew it was a new movie. You're the guy who came out and said, I want to do
Internet
that.
a little bit. We
So,
talked about the movie.
but no, it was like, hey, I wanted to see this movie. You made me see this movie, and I thank you for
Oh, you're welcome.
that. All right. Well, so do you have any socials you want to promote?
Uh no, no. But you can find me at the Acacia Strain concert tomorrow night.
Okay, that would be May 10th.
If,
This
if
isn't
you
going
like,
to be dropped till the oh sheesh 10th. I mean, sorry, I'm trying to think of when. Yeah, so um no, so you're working in Central Illinois. We'll say that much.
yep, you can find me at the Thornton's Truck Stop in Lincoln.
All right. Hey, no, I like Thornton's. It's cool to hear they have a truck stop. I just
Hey, come up and be a tip.
Hey, I just don't. I'm off 50. I'm off 57 now. It's not my good old Peoria days. So
Every so often somebody says as a like, hey, are you on that show? It's happened a couple of times.
no, no, man, that's totally cool. I'm just saying I'm on. I'm saying I can't run into you because I'm 57 is my way south, not 55. So
Then a few months back said they enjoyed the Beavis and Butthead episode we did.
oh well, damn, I didn't know. I didn't. Well, thank
So
you very much, Gregory, for just getting that word out. Then so. All right. You can find me on my social medias. That at CatBus Russ. Blue Sky is my preference. You can find me on Instagram and Threads. I really don't give a shit about Meta, so not my best stuff. Rate and subscribe on your favorite podcast apps. 5 stars preferably. I do listen to criticism, so be as honest as you'd like in your text. If you want to be a guest on the podcast, I'd love to hear from you. You've got 40 minutes at least to Zoom with me. Hit me up. My email address is rustthebus07 at gmail.com. That's RUSSTHEBUS07 at gmail.com. Offer me a film, a director, an actor, a theme, and let's fry up a slice of podcast gold. Personally, I prefer movies between 70 and 100 minutes, but if your movie is bonkers, I will make as much time as you need. And let me thank my best friend, Station Marie Harden. Um, she's keeping an eye on me, keeping me out of too much trouble, and I hope she's doing the same for everybody else she touched in her life. And I hope she's squeezing the ectoplasm out of Skimbleshanks, the one-eared angel. And with that said, let me thank my Patreon subscribers, Tim Bates, the Scoop Staley, and new member Jen Luckman. So they give us $3 a month to get a sticker, but more importantly, make sure Ava, the Queen Kitty, gets 3 tins of cat food in their name. So thank you very much, Gregory, for coming back on the show. Look forward to talking to you again. We'll see. As I say, I'm looking at Atlanta Comic Con probably as my next one. But there's always Chicago's a big town, so there might be some opportunities there. Thank you for just stepping up as always.
Oh yeah, for sure, man. Thanks for having me. I'm sorry about last time. We were supposed to do this a good solid week ago, but
Well, I know, but as I say, then it lets me further and guess investigate the feature. So I feel a lot better about what I'm saying about a movie when I got to put in extra homework.
yeah, for sure. We'll have to do this again. I still got that Chris Alexander book I'm working my way through.
All
I had to
right.
quit because I got a lot of movies to catch up on
Oh
now.
yeah. Oh no, I would imagine with that look. Yeah. So, all right. Well, thanks again for coming on the show, and have yourself a good night.
Yep, you too, man. I need to try to go to sleep now. I
Yep.
was not supposed to drink an entire pot of coffee.
That's why I'm on the downers right now. So, all right. Thank you.
No problem, buddy.
Smack